Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new in my YouTube video, I just say hi. So today I'm gonna tell a fairy tale called The Little Mermaid and the Red Sauce. Okay, let's just start it. The Little Mermaid 4. Far from land in the deepest water of the oceans, lived the Mer King. Far from land in the deepest water of the oceans, lived the Mer King. His place was made of a coral and its long pointed windows of amber. The roof was covered with oyster shells, and in each one lay a beautiful pearl. The Mer King had been a widower for many years, but his life was brightened by his daughter. The 6 mermaid princes were all very lovely, but the most beautiful of them all was the youngest. Her complexion was as fine as a rose petal, and her eyes were as blue as the deepest lake. Most of all, the little mermaid loved to listen to her grandmother telling stories about the world above the sea, about the flowers with wonderful fragrance and the creature called bird which flew through the trees. When you are 15, you will be allowed to swim to the surface and see all the things for yourself, said her grandmother. So, the little mermaid waited as one by one, her elder sister went out to see the world above the sea. They returned with tales of cities with twinkling lights, music, and the sound of human voices. They were all excited with these things at first, but gradually the grave tired of them and preferred to stay at home in the palace. At last came the little mermaid's 15th birthday. Her grandmother brushed her hair and put a crown upon her head, so that everyone would know she was a princess. Then she rose up to the surface. The sun had just set. The air was warm and the sea was calm. A little wave of a great gallon floated upon the water. Its ringing was hung with a colored light, and the sound of music and laughter came from it. The little mermaid swam close to a cabin window, and wave lifted her up the sea called Pepin. They were having a party. It was the prince's birthday, and everyone was enjoying themselves. The prince is very handsome, thought the mermaid. In the morning, the little mermaid came upon a bay. She took the prince and laid him on the dry sand in the warm sun. Then she was swam out to sea and waited. Soon, a girl from a nearby convent came and discovered the prince. She called for help, and her friends came and carried the prince away to care for him. The little mermaid was terribly sad. the prince would never know she had saved his life. She dipped below the wave and returned to her father's palace. But the little mermaid spent more and more of her time thinking about the prince and began to ask her grandmother lots of questions about the world above the sea. Do we live forever? She asked. No, they die just as we die, and their lives are shorter than ours. We live to 300 years old, said the grandmother. But when we die, we just become the foam and the wave. Humans have souls, and when they die, their souls rise up the beautiful unknown world that we shall never see. This made the princess wish that she was human too. Is there no way that I can get a soul? She asked. Only if a human begins to love you, replied her grandmother. But that won't it happen. They do not like our tales. This made the princess sad. I must do something, she said to herself. I know. I will go and I see the witch, though I have always feared her. I will ask her to help me. The witch's house was in an underwater forest. All the three had long, slimly arms. Everything they could reach the grasp and never let go. The little mermaid nearly turned back. Then she thought of the handsome prince again, and this gave her courage. So she was swam on fast as she could until they come to witch's house. It was made of bones. Snails crawled around it, and the witch herself sat stalking a large toad. I know what you have come for. I know what you have come for, said the witch. You want like human instead of your beautiful tales. You are a foolish, but I will grant you your wish. You shall have legs, and walk and dance upon them as light as a feather. But every time your feet touch the ground, it will feel a thought you are walking on a knife. I will give you a magic potion, but in return, you must give me your beautiful voice. But without a voice, how will I win the prince? Asked the mermaid. You must use your lovely eyes and your charm, said the witch. So the little mermaid agreed to give away her voice, and carrying the witch's potions in a bottle, she swam up to the surface the prince's palace. There she sat on the marble step in the darkness and drank the magic liquid. She felt a dreadful pain as the sword was piercing her heart. Then the pain away. When she woke up in the morning, she would look down and saw that her tails had become to a swim leg. Standing in the front of her was the handsome prince. He covered her with his cloak and asked her what she was and how she came to be there. She could only smile at him. He led her to the palace and gave her some beautiful clothes to wear. Everyone said how gracefully she walked and how beautifully she danced. The princess especially was enchanted and said that she must stay with him forever. The little mermaid was very happy, but all the times her feet hurt just like the sea which had told her the world. Each night, when everyone was asleep, the little mermaid crept out the bed and went to bathe her feet in the sea. One evening, her sister came to visit her and told her how sad they were without her and how much her father and grandmother missed her. Meanwhile, the prince had grown very fond of the little mermaid. You remind me of a girl I once saw, he told her. My ship was wrecked in a storm. When I woke up, a girl had helped me to shore. She's the only person I could ever really love. I am so happy that you remind me of her. This made the little mermaid sad. He doesn't know that I saved him. He thinks that it was one of the girls from the convent, and they did not marry. But of course, she had given her voice to see wits and could not tell the prince the truth. One day, the prince told her that he was going away on a long journey which his parents had arranged for him. He was to meet a princess in another kingdom while the helper the might marry. I shall not love her, he told the little mermaid sadly. I can only love the girl who saved my life. But when at last the prince arrived the foreign kingdom and met the princess, he was amazed to discover that she was indeed the same girl who he had saved him from drowning. She had been sent to convent to learn how to be a princess. The little mermaid thought that her heart would break at the prince's wedding. She walked behind the prince and carried her train. That night, when it grew dark, everyone went upon the ship. All the colored lamps were lit. There a dancing and great merriment. It looked just like the party the little mermaid had seen so long ago. When everyone had gone to bed, they stood looking over the ship's rail out at sea. Suddenly her 5 sisters appeared. They looked very pale and their long hair had gone. We have given our hair to the sea witch for the magic knife, they said. If you kill the prince before the sunrise, you will become a mermaid again. The little mermaid took the knife and went to where the prince lay sleeping with her spirit. But she found that she could not kill him. Instead, she took the knife and threw it into the sea. The waves splashed with color like where it landed. Then the little mermaid threw herself into the sea and slowly turned into foam. As the sun rose, she felt it warm. She heard a sweet voice and saw strange lights in the sky. Then she felt herself being lifted up and soon she was in the sky with the lights all around. "We are taking you to join the daughter of the air," said Mermaid. "Mermaids do not have the soul, and neither do we, but we can earn our soul by the good deeds we do." She sent cool breezes to hot countries to refresh the children. "We spread the sound of flowers for everyone to enjoy. If you help us in the 300 years, you will have a soul." On the ship, the prince and princess wondered where the beautiful girl who could not speak had gone. Sadly, they looked at the sea as they discussed that she had thrown herself into the wave. They didn't see the little mermaid was goodbye as they drifted behind a cloud. And in then. Okay, thank you so much everyone to listen my stories about the Little Mermaid. And I'm sorry if there's been a slip of the word, and I'm sorry if my speech is bad, because I'm trying to learn to speak English so that my tongue will adjust. I want to be wanted to speak English, and so I read this and speaking a story about fairy tales illustrated by John Patins. This is a book for children and babies before sleep. Okay guys, I think it's enough for my speaking English. So thank you so much for to hear my story, and I just say bye bye.